Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Garrett.
And we are Diary of a Family.
And we are intentionally living life.
Today we have some special friends that we've met here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we are going to do an interview style video today.
Yep.
Just to get to know them a little bit and let our viewers know who they are and what they're about. So can you introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Kim.
And we're the Cover family.
The Cover family.
Yep.
So go ahead and tell us a little bit about who you guys are.
Well, we have 3 children. We've got 3 boys, and their ages, Kim?
Are 10, 9, and 6.
10, 9, and 6. And so, just awesome, full of energy. Kim and I are from 2 different areas. So I'm from Ohio.
I'm from Iowa, and we met in the Persian Gulf in 2004.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And how did that come about?
So I joined the National Guard when I was 22 and joined to get college paid for, and ended up being activated in 2003 for a deployment overseas in Iraq. And we had 4 days of R&R, and the 3 of those 4 days overlapped, and that's where I met this handsome guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were over there because?
Well, I enlisted in the Army in 2001, right out of high school. I got into college in Ohio State, and they sent me the bill. I couldn't pay for it. The recruiter whispered sweet nothings into my ear, promised that he could pay for college. And so I joined active duty. So I did my job full time. And so being 19 years old from Ohio, my first duty station was Hawaii. And
Somebody
has to do it. It's difficult.
Somebody.
Yeah.
My dad actually was stationed there for a couple of years.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
And so from there, we deployed to Afghanistan in 2004. And I was fixing Black Hawk helicopters, and being the youngest guy there, was the first guy they put in R&R. And so I got R&R and Cutter. That's where we met. We kept in touch.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
That's right,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
So.
great. That's fantastic.
So how long have you guys been traveling full time, and what is your setup for your rig and vehicle?
Yeah. So we initially started in a 28-foot pull-behind Sportsman, no slide-outs.
Oh, wow.
Pulled it with a Toyota Sequoia. And we had originally gotten that because we were just doing the camping thing. And then things changed, and we ended up going into nonprofit work. And this was the tool that we used to travel and raise support. Well, that didn't last too long.
No, not with
with
3
the
big
5
boys.
with the
Yeah.
5 of us and 3 growing boys and homeschooling on top of that, and space was quite limited. So we ended up having the ability to upgrade.
So we upgrade now. We have a 41-foot. It's a open range roamer. So it's got the bunkhouse in the front. We tow it now
Open
with
range.
Yeah. We're big fans.
You're gonna plug the open range. Yeah.
So we actually, and we got the truck and the camper together. So it's an F-350.
Okay.
And we bought it off another family who was already full-timing.
I was going to ask.
Yes.
So
Yes.
was it a family that was going back to house living? You know.
They were going back to
to
house.
house living.
Yeah. So, but our paths had crossed, and
Yep.
It worked out, and
So-
everything
It
was
worked
all
out great.
set up, and
it was all set up. It was
And,
great.
Wow.
So Josh and Tiffany Price were the family that we bought it from, and it's amazing because we had similar people that we knew, so they were friends of our friends, and Tiffany did a wonderful job painting and decorating.
She made it feel like a
interior.
home.
Yes.
So she
redid
painted
the
it.
interior.
She redid, like, the curtains are all done by hand and
Yeah.
things that way. So
And
it's fun.
Josh rebuilt the table and the seats is in there. They did wonderful work in that. So
Yeah.
they really made it a home, and we kind of stepped into that.
We'll
So,
have to get a tour.
and,
Absolutely.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we've been doing that for 16 months now.
16 months.
16 months.
Very
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So you talked about joining a nonprofit, and that's what's led you into this full-time lifestyle.
Yeah.
So tell us what that is, that nonprofit, what it's about, and what your role is in that nonprofit.
I'll go ahead and start initially,
Yeah, go
okay?
for it, yeah.
So we are with Cadence International, and our mission is to reach the nations through the lives of transformed military people.
And so what we do, the specific ministry that Kim and I have, we are hospitality house directors. So Cadence will own the house, and we get to stay there. And what we do is we're the soldiers and their families come, and then we're their home away from home. So they're away from their support system, and they're serving their country, but they don't have the family that support that's there. So we're there. We do Bible studies. We do times of fellowship. We share meals together. There's a little bit of counseling goes on, a whole lot of talking, trying to figure life out. And through that, we share not only our lives, but also the hope of Christ with them as well.
I know being away from home can be so difficult, especially if your spouse is deployed and now you're at home with the kids, and it can be so hard. And you've experienced that, so it makes you perfect to kind of take on this ministry role. What are like some of the specific things that you might do in a day for Cadence?
Sure. So we will have like set hours that the house is open for single soldiers, family members, just to come in, and it's kind of available to them for their space. Whether I know that we could do Bible study, we could just talk about their hobbies and just be a listening ear and encouragement to one another. Raising children has its challenges. You don't always know that you're doing it right. And just giving that person the grace that Jesus offers us, that you do have this grace factor. And Friday nights are really our main event in the house, and it'll be a fellowship meal, and you really building that community, and not only relationships personally with the families, but that it's a space where those families can really build relationships too. And I know for us too, it was fun to go to another duty station and years later cross paths with somebody that you were in a Cadence house with.
Right.
And you are still family even after time passed. And that's where Jeremy was talking about the Bible study. So the house is open, and it can look so different. There's so much potential for chaplains' use, just off post, and having that real intimate home environment. It's not sterile and cold and military.
So you benefited from Cadence prior to this,
Very much.
as a
Very
military
much.
spouse and as a military man.
Yes.
What was the most impactful thing for you about Cadence?
Just their availability, their presence, to be present, and that listening ear. And if there was a slight conflict in our marriage,
Oh, that
or
doesn't happen,
frustration occasionally, maybe a disagreement here and there, and being directed towards how God asks us to react to that there is in fact a truth, and that's where we need to filter all of our decisions and choices and reactions from. So,
And I know for me, Cadence answered a lot of questions that I had. That you come to faith in Christ, and you read the Bible, kind of understand it a little bit, but you're a father, you're a husband, and you're a soldier. And Christian's supposed to be informing all those other areas of your life. What does that look like? How do you do that? And those were answered in a Cadence house, and not always through the Bible study. There were times where there was a group of guys, we would hang out, and I would ask dumb questions, going like, we have a slight conflict in our marriage, and how do I navigate that minefield sometimes? Or
mine.
Or how do I connect
Yeah,
better with
mine
my
feels.
children?
I know,
As a father, you're gone away from your children a lot. How do I reconnect with my children when I come back from deployments or training? And reintegration is always a big deal, and things that way. And then also, then you help one another walk through some of the difficult parts of military life, deployments, what you go through during deployments, things that way.
I would say probably to sum up what Cadence has done is just taking the truth of God and helping us apply it into our life, just that application, and not only helping us do that individually, but helping, allowing us to see that walked out in real life.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so our last question for you is, how can our viewers find you if they want to know more about Cadence and about supporting you?
Well, there's a couple of ways they can do that. One, you can easily find us on Facebook. We are very active on Facebook social media. We're quickly learning how to use all the other platforms of social media. When you're in the military, you kind of keep away from that a little bit, but now as we are more public and we're showing that, so you either find Kim Cover or Jeremy Cover on Facebook. We have teamcover teamcover.org is our family website. We also, if you go to cadence.org, that's the main one. If you go cadence.org, and we're in the directory, last name spelled like cover. We church it up a little bit and we're cover, but it's spelled just like cover. And they're in there, you'll see our family photo. There will be links to not only our website, our newsletter, a little bit more about our story, how to get a hold of us, but also that's where the donation button is. That's
Yes.
That all-important
really-
donation button.
the all-important donation button. So
And to follow that up is that ideally we are looking for monthly contributions. That's what sustains us and keeps us in the field ministering out of that area. But one-time donations, one-time gifts are wonderful and incredible and help in tremendous ways. So.
because you always have those things that pop up. I mean,
All right,
you have your
yes.
budget, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And there's always that one thing
That
that
one thing
wasn't in the budget.
That wasn't in the budget,
Yes.
right? Well, we'll make sure
Yeah.
to put all those links in the description below so that you can find them very easily. And possibly a YouTube channel in your future?
Possibly a
Possibly,
YouTube
we're
channel in our
working on that,
future.
All right, well, if you need any help, Garrett's your man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
appreciate
We'll
it.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really great to get to know you, your boys, and just sit down and have this little chat with you so that our viewers can kind of find out, you know, what we've been experiencing on the road, because you are now part of our experience, our
Yes.
life.
Ditto.
And we definitely want to keep up with you and find out how things are going
Yeah.
as you guys get settled in your house. And that's going to be stationed, where's that, the Cadence house?
Oh, I guess we never said that. We're going to be at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Fayetteville.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
Also consider subscribing to our channel, hitting that notification bell, and check their information out. And we'll see you guys on the road.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well,
Tell you.
Who-
Tell
who-
you.
tell-
Yeah.
yeah. So I am. It is such a deep question.
It's
Who are
such
we
a
really?
deep question.
Yeah.
You can start with
Well,
the surface questions,
yeah.
the surface answers like how many kids you have, where you came from,
Yeah.
and then kind of
Okay.
let it grow from there.